Well, welcome everyone to this week's version of our free Tuesday training. We've got both Jim and I here. We're going to be teaching you today about cart abandonment, but also we're going to be talking about how to make your cart more appealing and getting better at it. So I'm going to turn the time over to Jim because he's going to be leading this discussion today. However, I'll probably throw my 2 cents worth in 4,000 or 5,000 times. So anyway, Jim, go ahead. Tell us about.
I am just setting this up right this second. I'm
All
adding.
right.
There we go.
There you are. Okay.
Okay. As Boyd mentioned, we're going to talk about shopping carts in particular. We've got several clients. I've got several clients that are having some issues with shopping cart abandonment. And so I wanted to clean this up a little tiny bit and give you guys some good information. And so we're just going to jump right into it today. I'm obviously Jim Carroll with E2 Total Solutions, and Boyd mentioned himself earlier. So number one reason that people abandon their shopping cart is that there's hidden fees. 70% of people leave without completing the purchase, which is an extraordinary number if you start to think about it. Somebody took the time, they took the effort to find your site, to shop your site, to look for a product, and then they leave. And the biggest reason, of course, is hidden fees. And so there's things that you need to consider. I've got a client, I've been fighting with her forever about dropping her. Actually, what I want her to do is to actually raise her fee, like $5 for shipping, then announce that it's free shipping. Shipping is a business expense, so it's kind of expected that you need to pay it. But I think somebody named Jeff Bezos with Amazon has ruined all of us because he actually has free shipping and he has next day shipping, and he's just kind of muddied the waters a little tiny bit with his little company Amazon, and now we're all expected to have to meet that. And Boyd's obviously got something to say.
No, I turned off the video so I could blow my nose and didn't want everybody to have to see me, but
Okay.
Now I'm telling everybody. So
thank you for that.
Shipping costs is a big thing. And Jeff Bezos, of course, he said, hey, if you're buying more than, and then he had it at first, it was $40, and now I think it's $35. You get it for free, ground shipping. And then if you are part of Prime, you get 2-day shipping automatic. Well, it's changed everything. I was talking to one of a company that I buy from, and I said, here's the thing, guys. I can buy this exact same thing from Amazon for it's $4 more, but you're charging $8 shipping. Mm-hmm. So now it's $4 less for me to buy it from this other company. And they're saying, well, but we got to have our shipping in there. And I said, well, then, what are you going to do with all those customers who are going to abandon you? But see, here's the thing. I know that their actual shipping cost is less than $4. It's that their shipping and handling charge is what they're adding into it. And I said, you're going to be losing business. And, I know there's some people who stay with you because they don't want to deal with Bezos and company. But you know what? Get it so it has free shipping. Just raise the price $4 or something like that, and now you're competing with it. And yes, you're not going to make any money on the shipping. That's the way it works.
That's exactly how, a lot of people think of it. Shipping has historically been a profit center for them and stuff. And it just doesn't work with the e-commerce or the world today. You have to make it look at the very least like there's free shipping. My client, that number that you threw out, my client, everything she ships from border to border, from California to New York, it's $4. But she's fighting me to raise the price on everything $4 and then make it free shipping. And that's a no-brainer. She has this mindset where she wants to charge that shipping. And I'm saying, just get rid of the shipping, mark everything up $4. Don't worry about the taxes. The taxes are built in with a WooCommerce site. You actually calculate the taxes based on where it's being shipped to. So, make all that happen and make it as no-brainer or automated as possible so that you can just get those orders. People hit the site, order stuff, and they don't worry about the shipping. So get rid of the shipping costs. Get rid of the credit card payment processing fees. That's going to be a whole other thing that we've spoken about before, and we'll speak about it again. There shouldn't be any processing fees. Taxes and currency conversions, that rarely happens. But get rid of all those fees and
Handling, boxing. I've seen all kinds of things that they add in. So, but here's one of the things though, probably with this customer of yours, it's $4 to ship one thing coast to coast. But if they buy 3 things, it's going to only be $4.50.
You're absolutely correct.
So if she even raises it $3 or makes it an offer where you buy 1, you get it at this price, you buy 2 and you save $1 on each item.
I kind of think that's the point that we're at, is that anything over, most of her stuff is priced around $40, but she wants anything over $50, it'll be free shipping. So it's, she's going to, and the cost really doesn't change. So I'm working on her. We'll grind her down a little tiny bit and get it figured out. So at any rate, hidden fees are the number one reason that people, and 70% of the people abandon their shopping carts. But moving along, there's an inconvenience to the process of checking out. And generally what that speaks to is that you make it mandatory that they set up an account with you. And most people, that really puts them off. Best thing that you can do is add a guest checkout feature. So they can check out either as a guest or as a member, or have an account set up with you. And about 25% of the people, 24% of the people said that they've abandoned a cart in the last 30 days for this very reason, because it requires them to set up an account with them. And it's people that just really puts them off if they feel like they're endeared to you or have a problem.
Well, here's one of the things with that. If you do a guest checkout, they still have to put in specific information like their email address. So you can send them here's, follow this by, it's coming through USPS or UPS or whatever it might be. So you need the address, you need the email address, you need their name, and if they're going to use a credit card or anything else, you've got a lot of the information. All it is you're not saving a password so they can get into it. So just let them, but you'll still be able to capture the address and their email address, which is what you care about anyway. So for future, don't worry about it.
It's the lifetime value of a client is how you should consider it. And if you've captured that and you can, contact them in the future, you don't really care if they're a member or not. So feel free to have a guest checkout. Next, slow shipping is the thing that I was referring to Amazon about, and they've just basically ruined all of our lives because they have 2-day shipping, or they have and sometimes even you sign up for the 2-day shipping and you get it the next day. I mean, it's insane how quickly all of the shippers are actually providing a service to us. And again, about 20% of the people had admitted that they have left their shopping cart for slow delivery. Oh, look, I got my little finger there. So local delivery is same day, standard shipping, or express shipping. So in this particular case, they're actually paying for the shipping, but you can see how the expenses change over time. So the next big thing is security concerns, and this is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. You kind of get somebody to the checkout and then they leave the cart, and so you're thinking to yourself, what just happened to me? So there's a couple of reasons why that would happen, because price shopping, or because they don't have trust in the site. And that's the thing that's urgent to me. If there's no SSL, nobody is going to buy from you. Absolutely get a secure socket layer. You can contact your hosting provider, that hosting provider to provide that. In most cases these days, it's free. I think that, somebody like GoDaddy, it's a margin product for them. They probably charge maybe $100 a year to get it. So if you're with GoDaddy, switch immediately to somebody that has a free SSL. And Boyd, I sent you an email about SSLs earlier today, so you ought to check that out.
I'll do that.
But if they leave your cart or they abandon the cart, there's a couple of things that you can do. And the most important thing is, early in the process, have them put in their email so that you capture that. Most applications, I'm thinking of WooCommerce in particular, they'll capture that. And even if they get to the point where they have to put their credit card in and they don't, you've already captured that lead. So what you can do is you can determine what product they were looking at and send them an email focused on that one product. You can send them a text message focusing on that one product. Set up some sort of email capture and send them a message and say, we noticed that you got right to checkout and you didn't complete the order. What can we do to help you? Do as good as you can at helping them and say, why didn't you check out? What does it take for us, to get them over that hump? But if they don't have SSL, that's important. If the site is dated, if it looks like it was built in, the late 90s or something, then, you're going to get fewer conversions. Make sure that the site is clean and concise and current and has all kinds of things we're going to talk about in just a minute. I don't want to beat up too much right now because we've got that bonus round that we're going to go to in just a couple of minutes. So we'll go through a lot of this stuff there. Number 5 is they're just not ready to buy. And this is what
you get the description for 4, and that was, you got the 2 of them reversed.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
I'll fix that for the next round. So they're just not ready to buy, and you're going to have people that are looky-loos, and they're just shopping, and they're shopping price, and they're shopping a lot of things. There's a lot of people that just burn a lot of time shopping while they're at work or whatever. So having an outdated website is a problem. No SSLs is a problem. Lack of social proof. When I was doing my research, and I love in these presentations together, but it struck me a little tiny bit that there's lack of social proof, and that takes 2 kind of veins that I want to jump into, and Boyd I'm sure will have something to say about it. First one is not having a social media presence. A lot of people, before they will buy from you, will actually go to your social media account, your Facebook account, your Instagram account, whatever, and make sure that you appear to be a legitimate business. So that's the first one vein that I'm sure we can address in a second. The second one is reviews. And you can never have too many reviews. There's several applications that you can put onto most websites that show reviews for a specific product, show reviews for the site overall, show reviews for your business. Make sure that you're showing reviews. You have that social proof that you're a legitimate business, that somebody likes you. And again, you can never have too many reviews. Make sure that that's all happening. Have something to say about that, Boyd?
Well, social media is one of the big things that you should have, and you should have those reviews that you get. You should repost them on your social media, because then it gives Google, when they're passing out SEO scores, if you've got it both on Google reviews and your social media is reflecting the same review, they love that, because it's really saying our Google review says they're 5-star and here's what they said about us. and it gets more people to want to read more of the reviews. And so it's a really good, strong way of getting more traffic and more social proof. The other thing is, if you can get your customers to, I told somebody this the other day, hey, I use this and I love this. Now I'm not showing the name, so you can't see what it is. But by having somebody doing something like that on social media and tagging you and your business in it is really strong as well. Because then when you go to search for this product that you're looking for, it'll show you the unsolicited videos that people have posted about you.
Great, thank you, Boyd. So the next thing is missing images. When there's just like a broken link to an image that it speaks poorly of the site. And then if you have an unfamiliar brand name that makes people not ready to buy, or they don't trust the site. And the last one is an unfamiliar payment gateway. But we all know authorized.net, and we all know PayPal, and we all know MasterCard or something. If you have this, if it sends them off to some really weird, Chinese payment gateway or something, you're not doing yourself any favors, because people don't trust that. They don't like the fact that it's being redirected. So make sure that you're using somebody that is local and authoritative, and people recognize it. So
Yep.
That's kind of it for my 5 things. We're now into the bonus round. So
bonus round.
So the bonus round is very exciting. And this is a surprise to Boyd too, because he didn't know I was going to do this. But there's 30 tips for a better shopping cart.
Okay, you got 1 minute each. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So use consistent branding. Nobody, Coca-Cola doesn't change their brand every single day. They have a brand, you recognize it, you used to buying it. So make sure that you do that. Social buttons and newsletter sign up page. You need to have a newsletter, and you need to publish your newsletter. That client that I was speaking to about before, she's got a newsletter page, but she doesn't have a newsletter. She's never published a newsletter. In fact, she doesn't even blog. So she's not listening to my advice, because I think she should blog 2 or 3 times a week. She's not getting it done. So easy navigation is essential. Make sure that you can see the store up in the navigation at the top of the page, and that when you navigate to it, it might be broken into categories or something, so that you can easily, navigate through that shopping cart or that store. Use an SSL, and I also added on their seals. You can get seals that say, I'm accredited with authorized.net, or I'm accredited with whomever. But those seals are very important. That it helps with the trust issue, and absolutely you need an SSL. Make sure you've got that. Make sure your site is mobile friendly, and make sure that your site is up to speed. Speed is an essential part of the Google algorithm. And just so everybody knows, of the top 10 pages that render on a mobile, all of them render in under a second. So 1 second is kind of the hallmark that we're looking for. So make sure that it's friendly and that it's up to speed. You should have an About Us page. The About Us page can talk about how the business was founded, or how you convey how you came to be, I guess is what I want to say. So an About Us page helps build confidence. So make sure that you have an About Us page.
You can even talk about who works for you, and some other things that are kind of interesting. Maybe you've gotten awards. Those are about you.
Exactly. Thank you. So number 8, show off your featured products. Having a featured product every month or every week, or however often you want to change it out, make sure that you highlight those so that people know that it's a featured product and that they are probably getting a better price on it. Always have a compelling call to action, and that appears a couple of times in my top 30 here. But make sure you have a call to action. Sometimes that little push or that little bump, asking somebody to buy, or asking somebody to take that next step and do the purchase is a good thing to do. So make sure you have that. High visibility search option. Make sure that you have a shopping cart. If you have like one product, and this is true, I have a client that has a shopping cart that has one product. And so it's not really, difficult to navigate his site. But if you have 1,000 products, it becomes much more difficult to navigate the site. You need to have categories. If you're selling whatever, energy bars, you should have them in, some that are, non-GMO, or some that are, or some that have sugar, some that don't. You can break those categories into a lot of different things. And the clients like that. I mean, if they want a candy bar or an energy bar with no sugar, and just make sure that you've got a list of sugarless ones. So that goes into the next thing, make your product categories, introduce introductory content on the category pages of those product pages. So make sure that you have a good description of every product. You can get those generally from, like, if you're selling food like a candy bar or whatever, you can get those from the vendors. If you're manufacturing your own stuff, then you have to write them yourselves, but make sure that it's very compelling. The next, make sure that there's a thumbnail of every product on your website. You just absolutely has to have that. If you can then break it into colors and sizes, it becomes more and more important. So if you're selling jeans, you should have a product that is blue jeans, and then you should have a product that's black jeans, and then you should have a product that's whitewashed or stonewashed jeans. So each one of those are a different product picture. So sometimes it kind of gets out of control. And if if you've got different sizes or different colors, excuse me, and then the sizes that they're available in, you have to have a picture of every one of those products and sizes. So not the sizes so much, but the products in particular, with a sidebar maybe that talks about the sizes. So it can kind of get out of control. If you've got 1,000 different products, then you might have to set up a photo studio in your basement or something. So make sure they're high quality photos, make sure they're thumbnails, and make sure that at the end of the day you do have a high quality photo. You can scroll around and see whether it has a zipper or a button fly for the jeans or something. So people look at those descriptions and then compare the exploding image, the blow up. That's the next one. I knew it was in there. The blow up images where you can see up close on the product and migrate around and stuff. So make sure that you have those as well. Make sure that you write fantastic product descriptions. Those are very, very important. Those are very, very compelling. Those sometimes push people over the edge and help them make that buying decision. Early in the process, be clear about pricing. You don't want to, nobody wants to get to the end of the day and then realize, oh my gosh, I have to pay for shipping. Oh my gosh, I have to pay for taxes. Oh my gosh, there's a premium if I want it in 2 days. Make all that really clear up front, so that those people aren't surprised when they get to the end. That's one of the big reasons why people get to the end of the shopping process and then leave the cart, because they're surprised or something. Display product reviews. Boyd was talking about that. Absolutely, the more reviews, the better. You can't have too many of those. Then another thing is to promote companion products. For example, if you sell a pair of binoculars, and there's a carrying case that's specific to those, make sure you crossbreed those and in fact sell them a carrying case at the same time you're selling the set of binoculars. So that's kind of an extreme example, but it happens in some cases. So display the product reviews, promote
like an upsell.
What's that?
It's like an upsell.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just things you can add on. So if you're buying, a car stereo for your car from Best Buy, then they'll say, well, do you want the adapter kit? Do you want to, and then they start adding on all kinds of things to it. Do you want it so it can be remote controlled? Would you like to get 4 CDs to go in with that, or whatever it might be? Those are all things that you can upsell them with.
Absolutely. And if you've got somebody that's migrated or found their way to your site, you want to make, get as many dollars from them as you can. Cross-selling or upselling is totally expected and totally appropriate. I don't think I've ever been, or at least recently, I've never been to Amazon and they haven't tried to cross-sell or upsell me. Somebody else that's really, really good at it is Home Depot. You go in and you order a couple of 2x4s online, and then they say, people that ordered 2x4s also ordered nails and a hammer or whatever, so make sure that you make as much profit on them as you can while they're at the store. And then item 20 was have a call to action on the specific product page. So create a sense of urgency is what a call to action does, and you want to convert as many people on as many products. You can push them over the edge a little tiny bit with that product page. One thing that sometimes people don't show is the stock availability. And if they know that it's out of stock, then they're not going to go ahead and make that purchase. So make sure that you're in stock and that you show this product availability so that they can have some confidence that they're going to order and it'll be shipped.
One of the other things with call to actions I was going to mention is when you put a call to action on there, sometimes a call to action is choose the color. So make it so that you don't have everything little color as a separate item. Put it all into one, and then they can choose. Do you want blue or red, or you want yellow? Do you want green? And this is important because once you get them choosing the color, they're committing to it. Mm-hmm. So instead of just a button they choose and it's just what, right off the bat, get them into it and then have them choose some things. Sizes is another one. You mentioned pants. Well, maybe it's a bunch of Levi's, but maybe they want, do you want zipper fly or do you want button fly? Are you looking for, and then you can have different things, of course, you're not going to have everything in one thing, but once you go to, okay, they want the 501 jeans. So, they're button fly, but what size do they need? Mm-hmm. And maybe you offer it as stone ground versus full indigo. So, give them a couple of things, and call to actions, as I said, is a way to get more commitment from them, and they're less likely to abandon the cart at the end.
Good point. And it's like, I'm just going to restate what Boyd said. It can kind of be subversive a little tiny bit. You don't have to say, buy now. That's a call to action. But by making them commit to a color or a size or a straight leg or a flare or whatever, it gets them to buy in. So that's a great point. Thanks, Boyd. Next, make sure that your cart's easy to find. I mentioned that before, that I've got a client that it's buried in the navigation, and I even know where it is, and it's sometimes I have to kind of scroll around a little bit. So make sure that it's obvious that it's the cart and how they get there. Make sure that you show payment options early in the process. Is it PayPal? Is it MasterCard? Whatever. And no mandatory. This goes back to what we talked about it in the first 5. No mandatory account needed. Make sure that there's a guest checkout function. And here's one that I guess I knew it, but I hadn't thought about it too much. Make sure that you have a long cookie expiration time. So if you have a short expiration time for your cookies and they come back, then maybe they can't find what they were looking for initially. If you have a longer term cookie, then it's going to pull up that cart, pull up that shopping cart, pull up what they had added to the cart. And that's a simple function that you or your webmaster can do. Make it a long expiration time. That's a good thing. I hadn't thought too much about that when I was going through this.
But I was just going to mention, to go along with that, let's say that you're comparing prices between 2 or 3 different locations. If people do not like when they leave a site and they then come back to it, it's taking everything out of their cart. If it's only been 10 minutes, leave it in there.
Yeah.
Use it for, and usually rule of thumb, is an hour, but I know some carts that leave it in there for a day. And it does take it out of the inventory. But you know what? They have found that people come, when they come back, they are delighted that it's still in their cart. And so they're willing to buy it. They're higher in likelihood to buy it.
I was thinking, when I was thinking of longer time cookies, like 30 days.
Can be.
You
Yeah.
know, so
The disadvantage, if you have it, so it's taking and committing inventory, is if you've got something that's, you only have a few left, then having a long commitment could keep it on the shelf and where somebody else might have bought it. So
exactly.
you got to be careful with the type of, is it something that turns over fast? Is it something you're always running out of? Then you probably want a shorter cookie term, but maybe a day or so.
Yeah.
Most people don't come back after 30 days and say, oh, I still wanted that. It's a week is usually pretty long.
Yeah, a week is appropriate. 10 hours or 10 minutes is not appropriate. Make it longer, make it 24. I think 7 days is a good time frame, actually. But, consider that longer cookie expiration time. The next thing was interesting to me as well when I was doing my research. Use discount codes wisely. And I've got a client that her whole store is on sale at 20% off every day. She comes up with a discount code every single day or every single holiday or every single weekend or whatever. And it's people get too kind of used to everything being 20% off, so consider using them wisely and having them, not everything for sale all the time. You need to optimize your titles, your product titles, and your meta descriptions. That just goes without saying. If you want somebody to be able to find you or your site, then certainly optimize those titles and use structured data. We've taught a couple classes on structured data, so I don't want to jump into it too much, but it just makes it easy for the world to find you and your site and navigate your site and Google to crawl your site. And there's a lot of things we can talk about for structured data, but you guys have heard it all before. And then Boyd will be excited to hear this. Number 29 on my list was have a great social media presence. And that speaks volumes in the sense that we've spoken about it for a moment before, but having a presence on, Facebook or Meta or Instagram, or even places like LinkedIn, depending on where your clients live, maybe Pinterest, having that social media presence speaks volumes to you and your business. So by all means, get those things set up and running. And this is something that we don't talk about too much, or at least I don't, but Boyd does. Make sure that you're active on all of those platforms. Just having a presence, and then the last time that you posted having to be 2 years old doesn't really, give anybody confidence. But being active on all of those platforms is really, really good for you. So,
and this goes along with one of the others we mentioned, is getting your customers to show them using your product. So this earphone I have in right now, the company contacted me and said, we classify you as an influencer. We'd love to have you wear it, use it, tell us what you like about it. And then if you like it, we're going to give it to you. But here's the thing is we'd like you to promote it as well. And so I've done that. But here's the thing is they are now getting people who are just simply posting saying, oh my gosh, this is the best thing. And this is a really good one that I love because it doesn't fall out of my ear. It doesn't. Well, get your customers to tell more about it. Get influencers to tell more about it. And they post on the social media sites, and it just simply gives you more social proof. It also means you don't have to be posting quite so much. If somebody's sending you a photo saying, hey, I love this, and you can then post and say, hey, Boyd says he loves this. And so that's the thing. Use social proof and social presence together. Let somebody else do the talking for you as well, if you can get them to do it.
That's absolutely true. And, you break users into fanatics and, just common users, but have that fanatic speak about your product and share with the world what it
Right.
is that you do. And that speaks volumes to your service or product. And then number 30 on our list of 30 is make e-commerce easier. And you can do that by making sure that your texts and emails are readable, you've done appropriate keyword research and optimized accordingly, that you've managed your SEO titles and meta descriptions, as well as social outputs. Add structured data to your pages. And if you use WooCommerce, which most of us like to, make sure that you use the appropriate plugins. WooCommerce has a gaggle of plugins. I don't want to, throw anybody under the bus here, but I'll throw Shopify or somebody under the bus in the sense that, if you add product or you put copy in there or you write a bunch of copy, you don't necessarily own that with that platform. Make sure that you have a good WooCommerce application. I can certainly help you with that. Boyd can probably help you with that. And you need to move forward and make it clean and easy. I want to throw this out. SEO in 360 has a variety of different products that we throw at you guys, and they're all very affordable, $9, $10, $12 a book for an ebook that helps you make your site, your WooCommerce site, all of those things a little tiny bit easier. And remember that it's always circles within circles. There's not any one thing that we've spoken about today. It's all of those things working together, or a percentage of those things working together. You don't probably have time to do all of them, but you do have time to do some of them. And so make sure that you're making good decisions that they all are working together. And that's it for today. Thank you for attending our training. That's Boyd and Jim. And visit us at the same time next week, Tuesdays at 2:15, where we will have another compelling training on what?
I was just looking it up and it doesn't show me here.
There you go.
Where did it go? It just stopped showing it a minute ago. Oh, well, we do have a training next week, and watch for it. It's our free Tuesday trainings. So anyway, thank you.
Only host who can share. Oh,